that organism. So depending in a country or in an economy, be it business-wise, on somebody is really disastrous because they exploit you, they control you. That's monopoly power. You have no choice. When they say do this, do this, do this, you are voiceless. You have no voice anymore. Excuse me. You are voiceless. You have no voice anymore because your sovereignty has been handed to them. So it is not really good to depend totally or to give your sovereignty to an economy. At the end of the day, looking at the topic, it says, what is the ideal path forward? Should we blend global production chain with local resilience? To me, I say yes. We have to blend it. Why should we do the blending? We have to mix the two because, firstly, we need to promote homemade good. Some of us, we don't like to promote our own. For example, if you design something, be it cosmetic, most people will not want to buy it. They'll prefer to buy things from other part of the world because according to them, it is more valuable. But that is a brainwash. We have to promote our own product. We have to promote our own, activities. And also apart from that, realize that how can the government do this or how can we do this? For example, let's take Cameroon. We have timber, we have palm oil, we have sunara, we have oil and all the stuff. Those things are creating employment. If we want to export things from other parts of the world, we realize that is high transportation costs. Why not using that money return back in your economy to employ more workers or to top up the revenue? So at the end of the day, to me, it should be 70-30, meaning that homemade product should be consumed more because the money stays in the economy. If you want to export things from other parts of the world, it therefore means money will be leaving the economy, which is disastrous, especially for developing countries. And there are some things that, if it is those things that are lacking in the home country, for example, Japan is one of the countries where they are good with cars. Our own country, charity begins from home, so I'll be using our own country as an example. So our own country, we do not produce cars. So we have to do what? Import cars from Japan and other part of the world. For example, look at when you go to Douala, everywhere you see Chinese. At the end of the day, we don't even consume our own product anymore. And now, let's look at it. What are some of the advantages or the merit if we blend global and homemade product, or local resilience? Firstly, it's going to result to what? It's going to enhance resilience. What do I mean? Reduce reliance on global supply, dependency, and increase adaptability to local consumption. It therefore means that the population will consume more of the homemade good because they are familiar with it. They are familiar with it and they're going to consume more and they're going to reduce dependency or reliance on global production. Another advantage of the blend or mixture is environmental benefit. When FOB was talking, he mentioned employing the people in your community. Most of them will gain employment, and that is how succession plan. People are dying. The other day we were talking about power guarantee. There is nobody to continue the legacy. But now if you realize that many people in that country are employed, they will also be able to continue the same legacy. And the environmental benefit also includes transportation costs. Just imagine you are buying things in other countries. You're going to pay a lot of taxes. So believe me, if I was the one, what would I do? Or even put high tariffs, like he said, high tariffs on imported goods so that you want to discourage consumption and encourage what? Consumption of your own homemade good. And lastly, we have social benefit. You realize that there will be stronger local economies and improving working conditions. If you want to really improve your economy or improve your services in your home country, you have to create good working conditions for the people. You need to love them. You need to leverage, and you need to do what? Promotion. They say charity begins at home. When all these things are done, you realize that majority of the individuals will not like to depend a lot. Monopoly. Some of us, we are suffering today. Look at Sonarad, for example. There is monopoly because there is no competition. Whenever there is no competition, there will be no effectiveness and efficiency. And that is how monopoly start. And once they say it is 50K, you have no choice. You're going to buy. So at the end of the day, it is good to do what? We blend our global production chain with local resilience. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your submission. And pretty much let's support our own. Consume what you produce. Mr. Ifobi, this is good. Next one will go to you. The question is, I know, and I'm glad you and English were here the last time we had this topic. What's the biggest lesson learned relying on global supply chain?
The biggest lesson to me, the biggest lesson learned online on global,
Relying on global supply chain.
yeah, is that you become like a child. You understand? You lose your weight. You don't trade with your weight. You are forced to bow down to masters that cannot measure you they cannot measure you in weight, in your organic weight, but you are forced to bow down to them. We learned that we cannot grow relying on them. We are forced to succumb to that. We are forced to in fact, we pay Shiba, we pay the fine, put our PG or sweet. We have been forced to pay excessively for less. We are forced to trade our national development, our national security, just to appease the powers that be. We have lost our independence. For me, that's the greatest lesson that has to be learned. And if I have to go deeper, I will say that we have destroyed our culture and we have destroyed the rubric of our society, because relying from the global supply chain has forced us to adopt foreign cultures. See, most countries do not start exporting like that. They first of all sell their culture. They come with their language. They come bearing gifts. The real thief comes bearing gifts. And then when you lose guard, they stab you in the back. Colonialism came with Christianity. So, and we are losing it every day. We have drug abuse is rampant in our society, juvenile delinquency, violence in our schools, violence in our streets, theft. All that is as a result of the global supply chain, because our people are consuming more of foreign media, more of foreign entertainment than our own entertainment, and we do not have control over this foreign entertainment. We do not identify with most of the content in this entertainment. We do not have a means. Our society was not structured to be able to deal with this, and therefore we have been forced to deal with the consequences. I'll look at it from the dimension of education. Relying on this foreign supply chain has made us to design our educational system to suit that particular global chain, rather than developing an educational system that is comprehensive enough to build lasting development, to build skill, to diversify our economies, to build real competencies. There are certain areas that are non-existent. I don't think there's any school that teaches robotics in Cameroon, or that teaches aerospace engineering in Cameroon, or that teaches when we talk of petrochemical engineering, like those who can drill, those who can no. I'm not sure that any school that teaches people that can go in depth into such operations. or people that mariners. There's no school that teaches mariners or seafarers in Cameroon. That's because we've really relied on the global supply chain, and therefore we do not see the need. If we go and buy goods from, we buy goods from China, an American company, a French company, we buy goods from China. CMA CGM will ship the goods in a ship that was fabricated in Korea, and it gets to Cameroon. Before those goods arrive in Cameroon, the Chinese have benefited from it, the French have benefited from it, the Koreans too are benefiting from it. If you have to depreciate the vessel that carried them, the Koreans too are benefiting from it before it gets to us, and our ports are being managed by the French, and they too benefit again from it at the level of the port. Before the government collects taxes, and then the final consumers are there to pay for it excessively. And most of the times, those goods cost more than their substitutes, than their locally manufactured substitutes. And we still go for them because they have sold us a lie, they have sold us a dream, they have suppressed our culture.
Go ahead and summarize, bro.
So for me, I'm saying that if you love your country, if you want to have those roads that we are praying for, if you want to have good hospitals, if you want to have good schools, if you want to have a good educational system, let's consume made in Cameroon. Let's consume our own, let's produce our own, let's grow our own. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Pretty.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the biggest lesson learned from relying on global supply chain?
Definitely, I greet everyone. There have been some serious lessons that have been learned, right? We've learned a lot of lessons, and one of them, of the many, is that they did sign some treaties or some deals that we are not aware of those deals and what the fine print of those deals were, which is probably something that we would have to pay for a generation to come. So what I would say is that one of the lessons would be that we should go back, look at the previous deals or the previous treaties that were signed, look at them again, revise them, and re-sign them with a limited time frame. We know that we cannot do it all by ourselves because there's certainly certain raw materials that we cannot consume all of it. So some of it need to go out for money. So there has to be some kind of symbiotic relationship where we benefit from them and then they benefit from us. As such, we can say we can now state an amount that is 50-50 or 80-20 or whatever it is, but we need to sit down and make those deals so that they are not just out there unknown amount and they're taking 70% of it. We've also learned that our money, we're not printing our own money. We should be able to learn to print our own money and know when and when not to print, not somebody to tell us who is not even using the currency that we're using to be printing money for us. That is just not right. So that's one of the lessons that I learned. And Sister talked about a couple of biology things. I think that we are in the area of higher concentration of goods, and they are in the area of higher concentration of the money. So there should be some movement of goods from the area of higher concentration to where it is lower, and also theirs moving back here, which builds up back to that symbiotic relationship. And we cannot just allow them to take, right? We need to limit the amount that you cannot export more than this amount annually. We should have a cap of how much can be taken out and how much can, so that we can leverage that. Not that they just come and take at will. You can only take this amount per annum. Whatever is remaining, we can save it and sell it the next year. We don't know what the harvest is going to be like next year, so we need to be able to do that. And then we should sign new deals, like our brother said earlier, new deals with limited time frame with those tariffs included, with that, as we're signing these deals, you are going to employ our people. You are going to teach them this particular skill that we need in this particular company. And after 5 years, we are going to take over management of this company. It's not going to be under you anymore. So there has to be some limited time frame. There have to be some boundaries of how much they have to take away and how much we bring back in. And so we have to gain some money. We have to gain skills. We have to gain industries. We have to gain infrastructure, and we have to gain institution during this time that we deal all this, because they took all these things away from us, and we don't have any. So we need to rebuild our country. In that's my submission.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think you still have some time over here. Let me go to Boss Frank. Boss Frank, we still got a couple of questions.
Yeah,
I'm glad you were here too the day when we're doing the trading this topic. What's the biggest lesson learned from relying on global supply chain?
yeah. I think the other panelists have said a lot that actually matters, and I think that I would rather mostly talk about the consequences that we are facing now, being as a result of what we've been relying. Because first thing, we have our skills being taken away. Like we are all outside. Had it been, we have those facilities back home, these great brains wouldn't have been outside working to help elevate the levels of the family, the status of the family. I think that over dependency, we can take a lesson also during the COVID-19, where some so-called vaccines were rejected by the European community and they were being sent to Africa. That we should take a lesson about that. We should also take a lesson about the current crisis about the Iran and all those war that is going on, where you have global prices now hiking because of oil, whereas we have it. So I think just to name those few. And what we have to do like a way forward, we don't need to cut off. We need to, first of all, promote capacity building. We should work on that, because the so-called developed nations, they don't really want us building our roads, because that will facilitate farm to market road and reduce expenses and costs, and promote local consumption. They don't really want us building industries, because that will help us get easy access to transformation, because the education, everybody knows, we've schooled outside. We now understand the modus operandi. So it'll be easy for us to settle back home and try to do transformation. So they don't like us having stable electricity, stable internet. Everything we don't have that is not really working, and which is a vital element of our livelihood in the society, is as an advantage. It's a good advantage for them to capitalize on that. We farm the cocoa, we don't set the prices because we don't really transform the cocoa. But when we have this farm to market roads and these industries builds, we'll start setting prices. You and I will know that when you go to the market, you say, how much do you sell your stuff? You don't tell the person, I want to buy your stuff for this. But the way it's been designed now, they set our prices for us who work the cocoa, who work the coffee. So when we start that transformation, we will be the ones setting the prices, which is not definitely going to work for them. So everything that is as our downfall is actually an advantage for them. So we should do what China did. China made labor so easy that they had to move companies in their own state to China, because China has studied electricity, studied all those things. China had worked on that underground. They took time and worked on those capacity building, make sure those things can serve. And when the industry came now, they were only coming for labor force, because these people, we don't have the industry. So now, when they need labor force, workforce, we are the ones to go work. So now if we start doing that in our home, they will be short of labor force, manpower, which means it's definitely going to be disastrous for them. You and I know that we are so supernatural, we are so strong. So that is a very big thing. So we should start building capacity building, technology transformation before we start talking about hustling, like disputing. You don't go to a fight without preparation. We have to prepare our grounds before we start setting rules on whatsoever we want to do. So to conclude, I would say that we should work on what we need, basic necessities, good education, capacity building, like encouragement of local transformation by a little bit elevated a little bit of prices and subsidizing the local ones that want to take the concept, like take the risk and invest back home. They should be promoted to in those technical vital industries, say agricultural transformation. They should be encouraged. Like one person did said here that lack of over dependency has actually lead to you have this violence that we're having. You have a lot of underemployment that we have. We only rely on Cameroon is the highest employer and CDC is the second. That shouldn't be work like that. It shouldn't even work like that. And a millionaire shouldn't be coming from a government worker. A millionaire is a businessman who is working in the private sector. We don't have that. We don't look up to government workers who are becoming millionaires. That doesn't work. Something is wrong somewhere. So we shouldn't wait that they should go and resign the contract or look into those deals. We, the citizens, need to work and force the government to subsidize, give us some easy passage to develop, even with the contract that they sign in those days. Because now, if they want to go against it, it will be going against their dependency because they depend on those contracts to stay there because they know they are not doing what the citizen wants them to do, but their master will kick them out the moment they want to go against their master. So that person who forced them to sign those rules is not going to lie low and have you just cancel them. But if you promote your people will force you to relook into those contracts. So am I done? Yeah, I'll just erase it here. So I'll come back later.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Zingra, are you with us? I've been no safe for no state network. Cameroon will call a name.
Zingraph is occupied now. I'm working. I'm just a listener for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from Mami Margaret. You want to share something? No? Don Loco, you want to share something before I go to the next question?
Everybody has said everything, so there's nothing to share.
Okay. Now the next question is, which is very important when it comes to this global supply chain. If you want to go solo a little bit, how do we avoid those pitfalls of getting isolated? Brersky, you're welcome. Riku, you're welcome. Unknown, you're welcome. That's the next question. English. Isolation from the global market. Just in case you say you want to only go 30. Thank you. Just in case, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just in case you say you want to go. Thank you, Rico. Just in case you say you want to do that, thank you. You know how you say you want to do, like for your case, you say you want to do what, 70-30? What if you the world the global market said, you know what I'm talking about, they need more than 70-30 from you. They need more than 30%. And they choose for isolate you. How are you gonna avoid that?
Wow, this is a tough one. It's just like the policy of isolationism in history.
Okay, English people. You say that you
Oh
know
my
small,
god.
eh? You say the police are listening.
you know,
You see, they say you know small
isolation
English.
is something. Isolation is something really detrimental in business. We need to, in business, even in real life, we need to build
How
succession
about this? Hold
plans.
on, let's see. Go
Maybe I
ahead.
should hold on.
No,
We
go
need
on,
to
go ahead.
build succession plans. Because business life itself is a competition and everything is a mix. That is why in business or in supply chain, individuals or countries need to build systems that will work for them. Even if they isolate you, you are able to sustain it because of the succession plan. Somebody said something here. Training your own workers, encouraging people to consume your product, have reservation, so that in case there's a pitfall in the long run, it will not affect you because you have created channels of distribution that can
Thank you, Nicole.
sustain you in that business. But now it becomes detrimental that you are just, okay, you have a
Nicole.
business, you are too dependent on your competitors or on the people out there. They might say, okay, we don't want to work with you. These are the tenets or principles. You have no choice. If you don't build these succession plans, you have to say yes to them because you become a slave, a dog. You just have to keep saying yes. But if we are able in business, if you are able to build a succession plan, you are able to strategize, you are able to expand, you don't limit yourself in a particular consumption. Diversification is the key. When you diversify, you are able to sustain yourself even in isolation. Now, let's look at it. The person who was saying, is it FOB, spoke about education. For example, he said that he has realized that most of our countries, developing countries, we are too dependent when it comes to our educational system. And believe me, there are some subjects that are not yet incorporated, like robotics and all the stuff, aeronautic in our country because of assimilation. You understand? But if we are able to build systems that will work for us, you see, for example, they say we are following the British system of administration. At the end of the day, before you apply for a scholarship, you need to write TOEFL. You need to write ICE. You need to write Duolingo. What for? What for? You understand? So that is domination. That is money. That is monopoly. That is why we need to create our own system that will work for us. Now we are even talking, some of us, some of our countries, some of us individuals, we are already facing the isolation. It is evident, though it is not written. Just imagine people from my country, Cameroon, writing these exams to go to a country that you are using their system of education. It doesn't make sense. We have to build systems that will work for us and our generation, be it in academic, be it in business, be it in politics. Because tomorrow, if we are not there, those business will sustain us. If we are not there, there will be continuity, the same legacy, the same blueprint will be left. Life is a risk. In business, your partners might overtune you. You might not be there tomorrow. They might choose to discipline you, to restrict you, to give you embargoes, or to give us conditions that we might not like. So you yourself, voluntarily, you're going to isolate yourself. To avoid depression and this isolation, let us build systems that will work for us in the future. So that when isolation comes, those systems will expand on them, will diversify more on them, and the world will be a better place. That's just what I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Really, what do you think? How can we avoid these pitfalls of being of isolation if we pivot to local?
I I think that we can always go back to the table, right? To renegotiate, there can always be renegotiation.
Absolutely.
To go back to the table and said, okay, this is what you want, but this is how it's going to. This is what's going to do for us. So, just in brief, I would say you can always go back to the table and renegotiate the deals, renegotiate whatever they're bringing. Okay, you want more of this? Okay, we can give you more of that, but at bed with this. So even though they might be wanting more, we can also throw a little bit more in there. Like, okay, train more of this, or let our people go over there and train, or open this other door for us. So there's always another way that we can renegotiate for them to get more, without us benefiting from the deal, or without us feeling isolated. Or we can always say, hey, we're also having this person coming with this deal. Even if there's nothing, we might also say, hey, we have this deal coming our way. So, we have choices. We also have choices to make. So you're not the only one. If you don't want the deal and we put this and this and this in there, you don't want it, then we're going to go with this other person. So let them know that there are competitors who are also there ready to strike a deal with you, not like they're the only ones that you can make a deal with.
Okay. So you have a question from English. So what if what's your question, English? What if they don't want the dialogue and negotiation like you're proposing?
If you don't, how can you not want the dialogue? You're asking for
We
more.
remember now we want the dialogue, but they don't want the dialogue. Class, you're welcome.
If you don't want
Yeah,
a
good night.
dialogue, I don't know. There should be a way out. There should be something that can be done. You cannot just come and say you don't want it. You cannot come to buy something from me and you determine that this is what you want. There should be some kind of dialogue. There should be some kind of negotiation to say this. If you don't want it, then you can go. I will keep it
I think
and feed.
that's where we have to prepare
Yeah, I will
ourselves
keep it. I'll keep it and feed
for
my
that.
people with it, or I'll keep it and then find another market with it. I can advertise that I have this thing going at this price. So if you're interested, come, let's talk, and you can pack your bags and go, because that's what they have done to us. We feel like we cannot negotiate, and then they impose on us. But if we tell them that we can negotiate, we have a say in something, they're not gonna just walk away, because they've been telling us what to do and we accepted it. So they feel like that's what they can do. But we can tell them that we've also gone to modern letters, right? And we learn some English and we can negotiate. So, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I know. I hope. Bros Frank, what do you say?
Yeah, I think that we have to learn from other countries that have actually gone through sanctions and those things, so that you should be able to have a good point at the table of negotiation. Because one thing we need to understand is that international sanctions, they only work when they know that you rely solely on them. Look at what they did to Zimbabwe. The sanctions worked because nobody could buy from Zimbabwe because money was passing through SWIFT, and that was the only system. MasterCard wasn't working. Anything that was tied to SWIFT was not working. So they applied the same way to Russia. It did not work because there was another system of payment that Russia had. So now, from the time the war started till now, Russian ruble has been climbing. If you check, you will see that it has never dropped. Why? Because they had an alternative mode of payment that wasn't tied down to the so-called superiors of the whole world. So we should learn from those lessons. So if you come to a negotiating table and you don't have alternatives, knowing that my opponent doesn't have an alternative, I will be putting down my rules and you just need to follow. So I believe that we should really adapt to that, because I said here that China has a certain system of payment that Africans are being subscribed there for free. All African countries, they are subscribed for free, which means they can do direct payment. They don't care. You don't have to pass through the SWIFT or whatsoever, because what happens is that when they say you are sanctioned, the SWIFT will already take note of that. The moment your country name or your code comes up there that this transaction is going to this country is blocked, that's where you feel the pinch. So we should learn from those things and try to strategize. Is when you have options that your negotiator or your opponent listen to you. When you don't have options, your opponent doesn't listen to you. So we should, I already said, we should work on capacity diversify our partners. And again, there is something, I think I read that yesterday. They say Africans are actually doing more trade now in between Africa than out of the world. Like there is actually an African trade that is actually just between African nations, and that is actually harming the world, because everything that was produced in Africa or raw in Africa was actually being shipped out and shipped back to Africa. Now Africans are getting into it, because we can imagine how many trucks will leave Kumba to Douala Seaport. Whereas it would have cost cheaper for the trucks to leave Kumba, arrive Tico, put it in a wharf, push it to Douala Seaport, and there they just load in the ship and leave. It's more cheaper. That transport means like that is more cheaper. So we should encourage our own. We should grow. We should make our trade more easy among us. Like somebody made mention that we should promote our own. It's true. And again, one thing I've understood is that we are good at researching things that are coming from out of Africa, and not researching if we have them first in our own areas before checking outside. When we want to check something, we first of all check which country is importing this to Cameroon, or what do they have outside there. We don't check around. Whereas when we look around, we'll start seeing that we have those alternatives. We don't use them. So we should learn by, you don't want to look for something and start looking outside your house, whereas you know there's a probability you can get it inside your house. So we should start having some confidence with our surrounding, our people, and before we start checking outside. We have the skills, and we even have people that produce what we need just beside us. We just don't have the time to listen to somebody speaks, or maybe just take a look behind our door and see if there is somebody doing what we need, or maybe has what we need. All we do is look outside. So I think we should learn about that also, because there are lots of sanctions. Let me tell you the truth. In 5 years to come, those sanctions will not be working, because there will be so many systems of payment. Like the BRICS is coming up with a system of payment that will not be sanctioned by the so-called leaders of the world now. And it will be something that is why you see all this fighting, is because there are other options that cannot be tied down to the so-called world sanctions. Sanctions only work when you rely. And when they see you are not totally relying on that, they will sanction you on what? They've given Russia millions of sanctions. It hasn't worked. That's why they are stuck. So we should think about that. Yeah, we should think. The other day I was doing some research about stocks and all those things. I realized that you can still be outside and buy stocks in West African countries in an app, and you make money with it. If only you get your education, educate yourself. Don't say, Bros Frank came here and said so. It's legit. No, do your research. You understand? So it's like that. So I realize it's not only in the US you can buy stocks and sell. You have it in Africa. We have it in Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Mali, Niger, Benin, and you can do that. Even Senegal. There's an app for that. We need to promote it, but we don't promote it. We want to think about stocks, US, Europe, France, Canada, all those things. Whereas we have it at a cheaper rate. So we give confidence to our people. We should believe that they can do something, and we start believing in them, and do our due diligence for research, and before we move up to the next level. Even the Bible says, when you knock and the door doesn't open, don't stop, keep knocking. So we shouldn't just say, oh, it's not in Africa, and we'll go outside. Check who are your neighbors, how cheap and time consuming, because market is all about demand and time. It has to play around with time. Ordering something from France and ordering something from Nigeria, the one in Nigeria will arrive 10 times before the one in France arrives in Cameroon. So we should think about that also. We should start having confidence and believing in our own people. I just rest my case.
You
You are
muted.
mute.
Unmute. Still can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
now
Now,
it's better. I said Zingraf, you're still listening, and then Bros Frank, thank you so much for your submission. Mommy Margaret, you want to say something? No. Don Loco, say something. And I think, Boys Frank, hold on. You have a question from Riku. Doc, you don't make it up. Thank you for coming.
Okay, let me
Riku.
listen to the heading again. Let me listen to the
Okay.
topic once more.
Okay. Riku, while you were done, they say, how can we get a second form of payment, Bros Frank?
No, China already has a similar way of swift payment. It can only be accepted by your country. It's not like you can just switch and do. China has a system of payment. That is why all the sanctions, the main thing that made the sanctions of Russia not to work is because when they cut off Russia, Russia automatically just switched to the Chinese system of payment, which is similar to SWIFT. If you understand what SWIFT is, the bridge between international payment between countries. They approve every transaction and they guarantee success in delivery. So that is why when they say you are sanctioned, no country, even if the country wants to buy from you, SWIFT will reject that payment. It won't work. It's a way means in which banks receive international transactions and settle later through the international bank, through the World Bank. Sorry. So Russia, China has her own. That was the system that actually Russia had to switch to. But for other payments that are really not like there are other payments that we know, do cryptocurrency and all those stuffs that nobody can block that. That nobody can block. But when you talk of legal and bank transfers, it's through SWIFT. There's no other way around. And your country can only subscribe to that, can decide it's about your country. The leadership can say, okay, I will be using these two systems. And they have their cards also. Like MasterCard, it's a US thing. MasterCard, you don't use Visa, Master. Those are when they say international, you are sanctioned. Even if you want to withdraw money from ATM machine, it will not work. So that is what that thing that those sanctions has to do to you. You will not be able to withdraw money from your ATM machine in your country. But you can go to another country and withdraw. And it's very, very difficult. So when they sanction you at that level, China has their own cards and they are not like Visa and Master. And they are similar. They do the same thing. So I just want you to understand the difference. Why Swift is what it is. All these payment systems, they are linked to SWIFT. No country can do international payment without SWIFT accordance. You pass to that SWIFT code. You must have it. That's where you have a reference number. You do all those things. It's being given by SWIFT. So it's it's not an individual thing. It's a country thing. Your country can decide to subscribe to that. That's why I say China has actually listed all African countries to their own system, where your country now can say, okay, let's prioritize Chinese system of payment. And the banks also will subscribe and start issuing you, instead of MasterCards, they will issuing you the similar types, but Chinese own system of MasterCard and all those stuffs. We just need to understand how this works. Yeah, it's like that.
Okay. Thank you again.
make
So
una the
Don,
tap, oh, make una the tap, make with the tap, the tap, the
I
tap,
know
the tap,
our
tap,
time,
tap.
guys. I know, right? English. I really will say wow. All right, let's go to Evisco. You're welcome. Where else? Okay. Let's go to Don. You with us before we go to class?
Yeah.
So how do we avoid the pitfall of isolation if we decide to pivot to the local?
Again, Queen. First of all, to me, there's no pitfall. We have to start with what we have. We consume it by ourselves first. before we start to export. That's the best way we can do. Before we're only hearing about American music. American music, see a group of people just come and say, okay, let us stop all this foreign product, reduce it, and then they went now. Everybody they want to consume. After we have already become acquainted with most of those things, we start to export. That is just the best way we can do. Things that we know that we have what it takes. We force everybody to consume every day. As you are eating corn, tomorrow you want to do it to shat, tomorrow you want to do it to cocky. When you become used to, then
You don't call my
export.
con. You don't call Sha. My heart don't cut.
That's how these things work.
I want drink some now.
There are no two ways about it. Which will not say will get power, will keep and people they become used to them. When everybody become used to them, then now they start to export. That's what it is. There's nothing like when you say pitfall, they want the go no so never get them will buy them or will exchange them. Why we get for the bring all the they are not oil they come with not all that thing will get red oil. Everybody eat red oil. The money turn around, we continue. Why we get for the bring tomato? We make sure that the rice day we continue with the rice until people become used to eat. From there we start to export. What do England say? They say nothing. It's just football and education that they are not even used to eat. I'm telling you for free. England they have only football. That's the high thing that give the money
They
now.
don't say nothing.
It's just football and education. They bring kind program. They not even need them. But now we the go shit on for they teach. It's just a system where they just craft them. Put them for day with the run. They go. They say, I want to go and study in UK. I want to go before you have to go for day. Everything become outdated. You don't need in your country. Now, no, now we do salvation maximum 2 years. Till we learn 4 years ago, it become outdated. Things the way you know before COVID and after COVID, they are not the same again.
Don't be lying. Some of that thing, man.
So this is just how we just need to strategize what we know that we have that we can go, everybody consume it.
Keeping you dependent, having recertification over recertification.
That's more certification over certification.
So when I want tell we say we not get company there for Cameroon where they fit tar road, we must bring people them, they bring slave them from China, they can't begin tar road. No, those people will have people in Cameroon go to Yaoundé prison. You remove people from there and say that no. I don't understand. How you explain to me you take people and put in prison that day you feed them 3 times a day and whereas you are killing the economy, their families are there. Take them, go, they should go and call bones. They want to tie road, take this people, you still pay them. While they are there, they are also learning. But what will happen? You take them, you move the place, they go into agriculture. They are learning when they come for there, they give them small capital. The money turns around. We need people that for go begin to say until when people they come for they don't really get that experience, we start to send them out. I don't understand how this thing. There are no two ways about this thing. It's just as simple as ABC. But whatsoever, somebody is controlling some people that they can take decision somewhere. That's just the thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Thank you so much, as always. All right. Dr. Royalty.
Wanted to say something.
Oh, Mommy, sorry, oh. I mean, miss Mommy Margaret. No, you say. You said to be quiet. Mommy Margaret, you want to say something? Thank you for bringing my attention to that.
Yeah. Greeting to
Okay.
everyone.
Mommy Margaret, greetings.
Yeah,
Greetings.
I have an idea. Like, we have so many resources in Cameroon, but we don't send it out. Even the one that we have, the prices are rising every blessed day. I don't know why the prices should be rise up. Why we are the one consuming it, and we are importing stuff from outside. Like, you go now back home, a bunch of plantain that was bought for 2,000, you will see this they are selling it for 5,000. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know. So if we decide not to be sending it again, like, what are we going to really gain from it? I believe we should be consuming our own stuff. Let's learn how to consume what we have produced. Like, I saw some artists in that are Cameroonians here in US. They are promoting bottle dance. I love it. I like it. And I saw so many people enjoy it. If we continue in that manner, I believe we will make it. We can make it one day. The problem now is these prices that we are rising it up, and maybe you higher the price, and the perishable ones, they will not buy it, and it gets spoiled. You throw it. We should also try to control price, make a control price control.
Mhm.
I think that is a little one I can say for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Royalty.
But you go give me that baby English when you talk about.
Yes. So let me start the topic. I don't know if you joined from the beginning. No?
I've been at the beginning, but I go in
Okay.
and
Anyway, let me go for this. So what's the ideal path forward? Should we blend global supply chain with local resilience, or the only or one part clearly superior for futures? One part is clearly superior for future stability, right? And then the question that I don't know if you were here. This is a topic from 2 days ago that
no, I
we
was not here.
yeah, no, you were not. Yeah, it's a topic where we're talking about global supply chains versus local resilience. So, but this one now, this topic came up from there, but this is the path forward. What would be the best thing to do? And then this question now say, how do we avoid the pitfalls of isolation, just in case we say we want to pivot and go local? Keep that's the question. Now, ways that
I think it's basic.
we can avoid the pitfalls when it comes to the
Okay, so with the first one, it says, should I do portfolio? Should we blend global product chain? Okay, so first, I don't think like there's an ideal way, because even when we decide that we want to move forward, there's so many things that we have to look into. So neither or, neither is superior. Let me put it that way. I think the one thing that we have to always consider is we have to be selective when we're trying to integrate internationally or globally, if you want to say that. We have to decide what is good for our market, local markets, or what is good for international market. So the reason I say that, if you look, I'll give an example. Asia, not calling a specific country, but if you look at the way they do things, some of those countries that produce cars, not all the cars that they do produce that we receive. They have cars that do not leave their countries. They have cars that they ship to us. If you go to their country, you see like a different form, different magnitude of cars that they feel like is for their own local consumption. And that should be how we is supposed to run our global like economy, whether being local or international, because there are some things that it's known to us and it's our pride. We keep the pride for a lot, for to invite guests for like tourism and all that. Folks will only come to you to see those things. They can't see anywhere else, but they have to visit your house to see that. So that attract people to your country, your particular country, or your continent, if you want to put it that way. So I feel like we have to be strategic. No matter what we do, we have to always look a bit about global invasion, of going globally as a means of selling those things that are already common in other markets, but we have a different quality of it. And what are those things? We have to learn to identify them, but not going with everything we produce. It's very important. Just like Don said, that if you look at England, they sell you English. I promise you, they're not very good at it, but they sell it to us. And then you get football. Everyone is watching it. Funny enough, if you come to the US, they you go to the university, people go to the university to do Yoruba as a course. They're going to do as a program. People go there to learn Igbo as a program. So you leave the continent, you come in here to learn Igbo. Like those are some of the things I'm talking about. They're selling things they don't need. They're selling things that we need. So we should be selling things that we feel like others need, and not what we think like that's the best thing we can produce, because not everything is supposed to go out. Very, very important. So that would be my biggest thing, because globalization is just a way they've made you feel like, hey, if you're not out there, you're not important. So it's like those kids, like, oh, if you're not part of the social group, the girls, the happening girls on campus, you've not made it yet. Is really, it's really not much to you than be selective of what you're sending out there internationally. So, and for it says, what do we do to avoid pitfall or pitfall of
Yeah,
isolation?
just in case we just yes, just in case we want to
Yeah.
pivot. If you want to pivot, what do we do to avoid those pitfalls? Of course, because pitfalls are going to come, but what do we do to avoid them?
I feel like it's not when you talk about like local production itself. I feel like
Unhinged, come. Go ahead.
what we're hurting more is like closed systems, because what we do like right now in Africa, I can say is closed system. I like when Brett said the statistics showing that we've been trading more, but we're not trading in not even in tenth of our capacity. We're not doing as much, because when it comes to road, like you made mention of the Tico port can go to Nigeria, but it can't go to Douala. Make it make sense. So it's like going to Limbe itself just to go pick passenger. Like you have a time that you have to stay there, but it can go to Nigeria. Nigeria is like, I want you, come and bring me the goods that you can bring. Like those are some of the problems. We having difficulties only connecting within the country. But other countries are welcoming our goods, but we cannot even sell our goods to the north. We cannot sell it to other part of the country, because we have this closed system that I feel like is rigid, whether we like it or not. I feel like weak competition is one of the biggest problems that we struggle with. We try to compete with the market, but we're not bringing our best game forward. I feel like that too, it might be a problem. So I don't think locally we have a problem. Like when I mean look, I'm talking about the continent, but we're talking about within the country. I think like those kind of systems are setting us for failure, because it will be like in no time for me to get goods from Tico and send it to Douala than just staying in the traffic. When there's water that can literally go to Douala and spend no time, there's no traffic there. But we take it so much time because everything has to pass through the road. So I feel like if we open local tradings and not protectism, I feel like that's we do that a lot. All these shelters that we're building is restricting growth. So it's just to be selective of what we do. Just be selective of what we do and how we can move forward. I know we talked about I brought the idea about that we talked about Europe having their own currency, staying away from Visa and MasterCard because of the sanctions and all that. And as we're speaking, I've been following the news to see if something is going to pop up in Africa saying like, okay, we're trying to consider something. Just even tell me it's going to take 10 years from today, 5 years from today. But we're not having these conversations here because we're comfortable using other currencies. We're comfortable using other means of payment, even though we're losing millions and billions of dollars by transactions. So it's just those kind of things. I feel like we should start setting things in motion to make trading locally enjoyable and easy for the local man. Then we could thrive way better. We could do bigger things than just expecting to pivot right now into international market, because I believe we're not ready yet. But if that's something that needs to be done, then we have to have some kind of say on the table. We have to, either by developing our own things that we use, either currency wise, payment wise, but we have to come up with the best game forward to be able to go to the next level. So I'll rest it there. Thank
All right.
you. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you did. Indeed, you did. Thank you so much. Really cool. You here?
I'm right here.
You gonna say something, brother?
I'm listening though. I'm enjoying it.
Of course,
Yeah,
why not?
Jan, this is in.
I
Okay.
used to, let me
Why
even say
why can't you
something.
say something?
Because
Let me
I'm having a good time
He
listening
pleaded,
to
he
him.
pleaded, he pleaded the Fifth Amendment right.
Okay.
okay.
Tell him
Let me
again, tell him my dear.
let me say something here.
The right to remain silent.
Let me even try to say something here. You see, like there is no celebrity, there's no public figure that has come to Cameroon without living with the Bamenda clothes. That is one of the areas that we can use and control every. There's no celebrity that immediately he will be coming to Cameroon. Pierre Lumumba or Omar or Fantunde, whosoever that are coming to Cameroon, they want to live with that dress. I've gone other countries, people say they need that dress. Tell me, how many shops do you see around the world that are selling those dresses? If the government can take control of this, believe me, we are going to be taking money from all these countries. I'm telling you, that's just one of the areas that it is a whole factory that we can be doing this thing. We modernize it, we put all types of things. We are going to cash out this thing. But what is happening? Until somebody will go and take it somewhere. And you see when
and
they
and
some
and and do it and sell it back to us.
that is where we are going to fall into it. How many times have you seen any minister, even the president, have you seen him wearing that dress? Other people value it. But when you
I
go to other
know.
countries, you see some of them, you see their leaders, even when Buhari was in Nigeria, he never wore a coat.
Guys,
Other presidents you see that are going out with their own traditional. My own, I don't understand. That's just one area that when we package, we can blow.
A packaging of my brother. And the way that other English word on the talk to summarize on a packaging. You know, he gets so emotional. He gets so emotional when he gets to such topics.
You see, I get Africa for hardware. When you see, when I did work up, so I see things of Africa, I just shake my head. I said, no, something is wrong somewhere.
We can
Yeah.
tell.
Though you see that talk we talk as well on that talk so it just
It's
like me. I left here. I went to Spain. I said, "There's no way I'm leaving Spain without going to the stadium to get me original jersey." Okay, Barca jersey.
Thank you.
I had
You
to go
see,
to the stadium. So it's just like every country I went, I'm like, okay, I have to get something that's significant in that country. Just like he said, I've seen Ghana presidents. I've seen them in their attire, but our system is so closed that if you can even go to you can ask a Southwesterner where's the traditional wear for a Western, they don't know. Like they can pick okay, but Bamaki is very prominent. Like okay, but every other part we don't know. But we have so much culture, especially in that country. We have so much culture that we don't know. So it's like our president is for the West, and then the rest is like for the rest. Because even within, forget about administration, even within, we don't enjoy what we own at all. I know how much it costs me because our outfit, of course, is heavy. I know how much I'll pay for someone to carry that stuff and bring it over here for me. I wear it. I have members of my church that own a piece now. They're not even Cameroonian because they liked it. At Thanksgiving, they always encourage us to wear your native attire. I wear it. We used to make jokes. I'm like, some parts of Cameroon, their native attire is empty chairs. We laugh because they just but they don't have anything up. So, but at least there's some kind of dressing that you would do to show where you're coming from. But we don't celebrate our own enough. We don't. And so we have to come back to that place that we just like you walk into an Asian person's house, you see all their goods first. The only thing they're buying from you is milk and something that is perishable. We can do that. We can do that if we start thinking about wanting others to enjoy it or like it. You have to like it first. That's why they say you have to love yourself first before others will know how to love you. So I feel like we have to get to that point first before we try to want to place ourselves internationally, because that might be brutal for sure.
That's just the thing. Just when we start from there, how will you explain to me that somebody will tell me they start giving some good name like Fresh Rice, McDonald, and all, and my own German, they look and I say not correct. Wait, touch your hand so this thing is not okay.
Is it a poor man show?
Dummy, thank you.
Ah,
Mhm.
the good thing is that we have to keep on preaching the message. That's just all.
Look, how many of you are English? Say how many of you are willing to take action? Dummy, you're welcome.
Only talking like this, already bringing an awareness. These are the some of the actions we
Yes,
need
very
to.
important. We need to talk
Yes.
about it. Yeah, talking about it because people talk about it so much. Then you start. They have to hear it.
We have been
You're
talking here.
welcome,
We
Dummy.
see
How are you?
Mother Mandy said she want to go to Africa. You think if she goes to Africa, she will not buy some of these things? That is it. Other people
I
when they
know
pass,
she
they
really wants
go.
to go.
Yeah. So only talking like this, even when you go to Africa now, there are some things that you say no. There's that conscience say no. This one, if you not get up, I'm that close. Say no, me I'm gonna get them. If you want to go say no, me I'm gonna carry some this thing. No. Believe me, that's just the thing.
But you know something that we do here now. For every convention that we go, we have to make sure that we invite the mayor of the city where we're hosting our convention to let
Very
him know that
good.
we are in town and this is who we are. And we always take one of those Bamenda clothes to them. If it's a woman, we give them. If it's a man, we give them. Let them know that we are in town. And then that's our way of creating awareness that we are here.
Even my boss said we get African outfit now whenever we go Africa. Bring your own.
I
Okay.
for the people that like it. Very important.
Dummy, you're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to contribute to the topic?
No, I just came in. I'm not sure what.
You would like to hear more?
Yeah, well, I would
Okay.
want to listen a little bit more. It's about 1 a.m. here. I know I was working late, but I just heard you guys talking, so it sounded like something I would want to listen to. Yeah. So maybe if I can listen a little bit more, then I can maybe give my opinion. Yeah. I'm Dominic. I'm from Kenya. I'm not living in Kenya right now, but yeah. And you guys, some of you, I think the ones I've heard sound like
Wisconsin, right? Is that what you said? You were in Wisconsin?
yeah. I mean,
No?
Wisconsin, but I did not say. How did you know? I say I'm from
You
Kenya.
told us here.
Okay.
Dominic Sasa.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
What?
You told us here, remember?
Oh yeah.
I know, Mrs. Sevenisa, I don't need pray.
Shoot, now I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, you told us when you're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Other
I
than
used to
that,
cook my wiki.
what are you talking about? The Sukuma Wiki, the greens. Have you?
Exactly, I eat that.
Yeah.
Eat
I mean,
managu.
oh gosh, stop going there. I miss Manago. I miss Kenyan food.
You guys, you know that
You don't cook it there?
when I know say managu na jama.
Oh, nyama choma.
They join. We call it jama jama.
Don't finish all
Yes,
They chop out.
the
They chop out the wishing ogali.
they chop with the
Ugali.
Ugali is like a cousin of fufu.
Yes.
And
So they eat it with ugali.
African food. Yeah.
chapati and all this good
I
stuff.
like the chapati.
but it's
Yeah.
made a different way.
Wow. So
Yes.
It's
now you
like
guys are
Gary.
making
Which
me
one is
hungry.
like Gary?
You're already making me hungry at 1 a.m. Gosh.
There's one
I
of our
mean,
guys. There's one of our guys over there in Wisconsin that sells good managu. So you got to connect with him.
you're kidding me.
Yes,
In
he
Wisconsin?
farms it and he sells fresh managu. You got to connect with him.
Oh gosh, that'll be so nice because I get that food from Washington State.
No,
Because
there's
so
somebody
many
there in
Kenyans
Wisconsin that does it.
Oh,
What's that guy's name? Agric something. What's his name?
where do you know where in Wisconsin?
I'm trying to get
You
his
said
name. The other guy that was doing the
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That is a cousin. That's Tilly. That's what he was saying. That Ogali is a cousin to Fufu.
yeah, but I'm talking about the guy that has the farm up in Wisconsin.
Oh, you talk about farmer?
Yeah,
Agro?
farmer. He needs to
You talk
connect with
about
farmers so he
In
can buy fresh
Wisconsin?
food and I
oh
don't
farmer
know.
the agency? Oh yes. He has the farm, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Crunchy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'll look at his thing and share
He's
with
gonna come
you.
up. He's gonna come up soon. He's probably gonna
Okay.
let me
I think
see.
I'll keep you guys
Let me
close
see
friends.
if I
You have a lot
can
of information. Yeah.
Let me
let me
see.
see if I can send him AG Crunch Farmer. Let me send him a request.
I thought AG was in Maryland.
No, he's up there.
He's in Iowa. He's in Iowa?
Oh, okay.
He's
I know
somewhere up
it's
there.
He has a hectare of farm there doing farm.
no,
He's
but I know
doing
it's
green. He has a greenhouse. Huh?
yeah.
And if they win Wisconsin, I mean, that'll be fine. I don't know. Because I
He's
know people
doing
in
that.
other
That is greenhouse. He's
states.
Up
doing.
there.
Like,
He's up there somewhere.
yeah.
No, no line, sir. Yeah, it's over there.
But anyway, I did not want to interrupt the
No,
topic of
that's
tonight.
okay. We can keep going on, but now I can
Yep.
I'll look at him in my thing and share with his link with you.
Okay. And where are you? Where are you? Are you also?
No, I'm based in Dallas.
Oh, you guys in Dallas are lucky.
Yeah,
I know
that's my
so many
Dallas neighbor.
people.
I'm
Dallas,
in
you have
Washington.
everything. I've been there, and I was taken to a place. They told me, yeah, these are a Kenyan restaurant. It was amazing. Oh, we ate Kenyan food. I was like, what? Are we in Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we had some Nigerian friends. They showed us around. I mean, like Dallas, at least with the big cities, you have people from everywhere.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
African communities are large here.
Yeah.
They're in large
So would
numbers.
you encourage me to come and maybe sing a song? I'm not
Yeah,
a
yeah,
singer.
yeah. You allow you
On
you
this
encourage me to
platform,
come and sing
No,
in
no,
Dallas.
in
oh,
Dallas.
if you can, to sing a song,
Yes.
if you can sing, why can't you sing here for us before you even get to Dallas?
Because you don't want to have someone online falling in love and they're a distance away and oh gosh, they have to cross the ocean. Can we stop that? I'm sorry, I took the wrong route. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I joke sometimes. So
So we'll
Okay.
sing the song. Let's go ahead.
no, it's 1 a.m. here. I'm trying not to wake up anyone.
Anyways, back to business. By the way,
Yeah.
so
But
I
I
think this is
promise to
gonna be my
host.
last question. What type of innovation will make a local production competitive globally? What's that Dundee? Oh, okay, don't see there. Question don't change. Hano. English.
Please start with Dawn. Start with Dawn or Pretty.
Dog Raven and dog say transportation. Say who are the who are Gary? I love my family. I swear.
Don't a concours question.
It's a and a good question would take and go sleep now. What type of innovation will make local production competitive globally? That was so one pivot. He says that was a seriously though English. Oh, it was a seriously and a concours
I've seen a
question.
concours
That's
question.
somebody branding. Okay. Tilly, well done. Doctor say transportation. So logistics.
Agricultural.
Uh-huh. It's a branding.
We have a lot of agricultural stuff that we can
Celebrity
buy.
farmer. You need to come say something. Celebrity farmer come.
What's that idea?
You don't pop, you don't spy. Celebrity come. Yeah, Nari will say it. We don't talk about it so many times on the platform. Eh?
Maybe Joe can just Who
Mm-hmm.
is this Zewiski?
Where's Joski?
That's somebody backup account.
Where? Oh no, one of us back on my account.
It's backup account.
Where is Joski?
This one.
Thank you.
He's below Domi.
No,
S
nobody
I think
below dummy.
I think there's no one below
SWISZKI.
me. Is it below me
Uh,
or there's no one below me? I think it's someone above. I don't know.
No, I mean on the viewer's eye.
oh, I can't
Ah,
see what you're seeing.
I see SWISZKI.
I don't know. They're trying to come up. Let me
No,
see.
they never say anything, but they're always here. Always. No
Oh,
comment.
Ziski. Oh, Ziski is that follow? Yeah, Ziski is always following us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people like that.
I don't know if it's his backup account, somebody's backup account, but he never says anything.
Mm-hmm.
No comments, nothing.
Somebody wants to come up.
Oh, let me see. Oh, no, that.
I don't know. I'm
You
not gonna bring
accept
some
it.
person for yet. No, never accept it. So
yeah.
y'all said Tilly said we can brand. Tilly, I wish you can come up and elaborate on your branding. Doc, would you please elaborate on your transportation? Since English and pretty soon a concours question.
Can I talk about the branding issue? Can I talk about the
Oh, you
branding?
gonna elaborate on the branding? Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Well, the issue with what we are talking about branding is that you
Mm-hmm.
must make this thing appetizing for everybody. When you make it appetizing, then people can have it. You know, when you first of all, let me give an example in the
Mm-hmm.
agricultural field I'm there. Why you see one of the reasons that I see most people don't engage into the agriculture is the psychological trauma. That when you see a lady is coming back from the farm, very cranky, looks so dirty and stuff like that. So when you put it like that, it discourages people psychologically to go in. But just imagine you just put somebody in the system that is driving a tractor and making the thing lively. People will want to engage into such that sector. That's why when you come to what we have, when we brandish it, then we move proudly with it everywhere we go. You make it so it become part of it. Everybody, let me say 50-60% of people that are moving to it. Because when you see Cameroonians, like the minister is going abroad for international or a conference or something, he's holding Cameroon whatsoever, moving around, and he's proudly say, say, don't bother. Somebody say, oh, this is it. He said, no, oh, don't bother. It is a Cameroon dress from this particular area. At that attention, just that little minute, people will fall into it. It will draw people attention.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things we need to do. But even sometimes when we are moving to it, we're just like very timid. It's like at the shaming first. You see, when they say Bamenda close or any close, we come out and only for night. Occasionally, that's when we see it. As we are going to our offices abroad, we wear it. And so, oh, you have a nice dress. Thank you. Oh, this is our traditional wear. You like it? Yes. Okay, you can have some. That's how they do it. So I don't believe that's the way we need to brand our channels. The CRTV, the more prominent one, we put it out there. Even those that are in the news, the Jimnan Sazeka, the Gideon Tazan, all the. Have you ever seen them wearing it? No. Those are the areas our eyes are, when they go abroad, we don't even see it. But I think that's the area we need to put it out, and then we make it available as well. Government can reduce the prices and subsidize so that you can easily have it, because the Abamenda clothes in particular that you can buy for 150,000. How will you expect people to buy that? It's difficult. But when government can help, you see the price go down, people are beginning to wait. Then when you want to go abroad, we tax.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Branding indeed. All right, doctor. If you elaborate on transportation as a way we can,
Yeah, I just feel like if logistics get we can improve on those. It will encourage more either farmers or local producers to be able to export their goods, because just the cost of moving goods from one area to the next just for shipping is costly for a small business. So I feel like if transportation get to or we get improvement on those, that can really help a lot. And we can subsidize, get our own local companies that can move, like how we have movers here. We could just have folks that would just come into your farm, to your business, pick up the goods, transport it to other location, and it goes to the final destination without you traveling with the goods. But most times you have to travel, leave your business behind just to go deliver one good and come back. So it's just too much. I feel like if we have reliable middlemen that could carry goods from different farms, just take them to final destination, that would be amazing.
okay. Thank you. I know, right? I said that
TLC wants to add
transportation.
something. I don't know.
Somebody down, yes, added said transport. He said, can you add statement, please? Can I add something? That's what I mean. Yes, you may. Come on, Tilly. That's what I was asking. Come up. Tell your request. Somebody also said transportation and distribution, which is the same what Doc was saying, that to transport it from the local farmer to the final destination. Just like I think we talked about the price of cocoa, and then somebody brought up that they're not the price is not even because of the transportation. How much it costs to transport it from the villages to Douala? You did? You sent your request? Let me see. Chile. Somebody said the reason the price is not the same. Okay, we send you the invite. Cancel. Let me see if I can cancel the invite. I want to cancel. I cancel the invite, then I'm sending you another invite again. Accept that invite and come up. They had mentioned
Yeah,
that the price.
and yeah, and that's the thing. As they are coming up, I think also would want to chime in a little bit, because I think I'm getting the rhythm of what we're talking about. Because when we said transportation, I was overthinking myself, because I saw some news about how it just came out how Google robots have come up, how they are conducting stuff. Then we have the Waymo and Tesla, whatever, stuff like that. But now I'm also understanding here. I think we are more talking about how a farmer can get their products to the market and in a timely manner, and how that can be improved. I've seen that in my country, Kenya, whereby you have a farmer on one side of Kenya that has planted a lot of
Really, I
nice
accepted. I don't
cabbages.
know why they make so much.
Okay. I think they came up because I saw the box was filled. Maybe they're still coming up, yeah. So the farmers in one side of the country, my country, Kenya, it's so fertile, has cabbages, spinach, stuff, nice stuff. And on the other side of Kenya, it's so dry, people are dying of hunger. So then the infrastructure is crucial to get this food from this end to the other end. And I remember there are times when the cabbages and all those horticultural crops were just rotting in the market because it had rained so bad, and vehicles won't go in, won't go out. Even transportation was very bad. So there is food on this end of the country. There's plenty, but it's rotting in the farms. And the other side, it's super dry, and people are dying of hunger. So that's what I'm thinking. I think the government has to play a part, or whoever is in charge of infrastructure I think they really have an obligation, a big obligation, to make sure things are moving along, or stuff like that. Then I happen to live in Dubai a little bit, Doha, Qatar, now in the US, and I realize infrastructure, moving people from one place to another, or product, I think that's key. And unfortunately, that's what we did not have in Kenya. So, now transportation, I think, if you're in a country like my country, I think you're going to rely more on the current government to allow for the infrastructure or stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dummy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Please,
sir.
1 minute.
Good morning.
One,
Good morning from my
Good
end.
let
good
me
morning.
just say something. Let me say something here that just come out of my mind, and then let me say before I forget, because probably I'm talking like in the person of Tilly as a global English, and you guys, you want to be your channel. It just come now. Let me say, because I don't know when it will come again. One of the ways that people can discover you on social media is through referral. Then you have 5 ways. It is either through who, how, what, when, or why. Now, when somebody refer you, if somebody say, "Oh, I'm on TikTok. My name is Tilly Ayau," it